Hello, everybody, and welcome to the BuzzerbeaterShow, episode 36. Today, to talk about the new schedule of the NBA. So, as you already know, the NBA will start again on December 22nd, and the first matches are going to be the Nets against the Warriors, and then the Lakers against Clippers. So basically the same, except for the first match, but so it's again Lakers against Clippers. I don't really get why, because I mean, man, come on now. Even if the Lakers lose this game, we all know who's going to be the better team. The Lakers are the better team. You already know that. I mean, like, they don't have Montrezl Harrell anymore. They lost to the Denver Nuggets with Montrezl Harrell. That's the Clippers, but I mean, no disrespect to the Nuggets, but I mean, they lost against the Nuggets, but no disrespect to the Nuggets. But come on, man. Bro, like, it was impressive that the Nuggets made it to the second round for a young team that they are. But then you lose to a team that bets. I mean, no disrespect to Nikola Jokic. I know he's a great ball creator. But the Lakers beat them 3-1. And the Clippers blew a 3-1 lead. How can anybody say that the Clippers are still gonna beat the Lakers? How, Sway? How? And everybody who was a Clippers fan was just voting against LeBron. Let's be real, bro. I mean, I guess there's some real Clippers fans out there, but the only people that most of the people that live in LA are Lakers fans. That's just a fact. And if you're a Clippers fan, maybe you're disappointed in what the Lakers have done, or you're just from the Lob City days. You don't know what the Lob City days was with Blake Griffin and Paul George, when they had these crazy highlight reel games every day, with every game was a highlight, because they made crazy shit, like going between the legs off the backboard and then dunking it during a game. That was the Lob City era for LA. And that was the phase where the Clippers were actually better than the Lakers. But come on now, bro. It's LeBron James. He's gonna beat Paul George and Kawhi every time. And I mean, if you want to say, oh, Kevin Durant is beat LeBron, yeah, because Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a great player. He's better than Kawhi and Paul George. Kevin Durant is better than Kawhi and Paul George. That's just a pure fact. And if you disagree, okay, then disagree, but it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But so my prediction is that the Lakers are pretty much gonna just win this game, and even if they don't, as I already said, I hope we will just learn from the last year that you don't disrespect LeBron like that. LeBron is still the best player in the league. He has been the best player in the league since 2010, 2009 maybe even. Like, bruh. Like, you know he's the best player. You just know it. It's like, okay, for example, 2016, LeBron beat a team that had a 37-9 record. At the time, that was a new record for the most wins in one season. For the Warriors, that is. The Bulls actually had, in 96, they had a record that was 72-10. And they didn't lose in the finals. But the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead against LeBron and the Cavs. So that's hella impressive. Hella impressive. And that's the reason why LeBron was the best player in 2016. 2015, he lost to the Warriors, but that was because Kyrie Irving and K Love were injured and out of the game. 2014, he lost because Kawhi could lock him down. Okay, you could make like an argument that in that year he's not the best player. But still, come on, bro. The season, it went to 7 games, and even if LeBron, if they would have won that, the Heat, that is, LeBron would have been the best player. He would have won the Finals MVP. 2013, LeBron won the Finals MVP against the Spurs. 2012, he won the Finals MVP against OKC. 2011, he lost. That was not a great year for LeBron because he had to readjust himself. 2010, he dragged a sorry-ass team named the Cavs to the second round and then lost to Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, and Big Baby Glenn Davis, and of course Kevin Garnett. And how are you telling me right now LeBron had absolutely no support back then? 2011, from the Miami Heat days, it was the first time ever he had support, and that's why he won championships. Back in Cleveland, he actually had 2 co-stars, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Legit. Not a 37-year-old Shaquille O'Neal or some bullshit like that. Or whatever, I don't know, a 32-year-old Kevin Martin? Kevin Martin? That was the second highest scorer behind LeBron. Kevin Martin. Bruh, man, like, Kevin fucking Martin. Okay. And just for a reminder, this Lakers team is better than last year. So if anybody's gonna say, oh, the Clippers are still... Hell nah. First of all, the chemistry sucks with the Clippers. I think Kawhi and Paul George are completely... They don't really like each other anymore because... They just completely collapsed in the second round of the 2020 finals playoffs, but yeah, and the Lakers are just a better team right now. They're a better team than fucking last year. Okay, so LiAngelo Ball, the third brother. So we have LaMelo Ball, we have Lonzo, and LiAngelo Ball in the league. If you don't know who the Ball brothers are. So basically, like around 2016-17, it started to like, this guy, LeVar Ball, the father of the 3 brothers, came on the show and said that his boys were the best in the league. And that he beat Michael, and that he could have beat Michael. Okay, that's pretty much bullshit, but nobody believed that he would... that his sons would make the league. I mean, Lonzo made the league in 2017. Then LaMelo Ball made it this year in this year's draft with the Charlotte Hornets, and now LiAngelo Ball is under contract with the Detroit Pistons. And I mean, there were a lot of the media or a lot of people said that he's not going to make the league because he's not athletic enough, which I can see. It's just he can shoot fairly well, and I mean, I don't really get why Detroit is Detroit. They don't have a great team, but yeah, it just I am so relieved that all the ball butters are now. I mean, they proved everybody wrong by saying like everybody doubted him. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, everybody said, "Oh, LeVar Ball is delusional and stuff, and he's just talking crap." But they made it. You know what I'm saying? They made it. Like, okay. Oh, very interesting news. James Harden requests a trade to Philly. And a question. Are the Rockets still the winners of the offseason? Or one of the winners? Oof. I mean, that is a hard question because now they have John Wall, but I mean, James Harden is still a Rocket, but he requested a trade to Philly, and that basically means that he wants out of Houston, which is not a big surprise because I guess he doesn't like to play with John Wall the same way that Bradley Beal doesn't like to play with Russell Westbrook. There are like some clips where it shows that Bradley Beal doesn't like the Westbrook trade. But, like, come on, bruh. Why are you, like... Hey, it's his decision. He can do whatever he wants. It's just a little weird, you know? It's... I mean, I guess it's better for Houston if they let him go, because Harden... They have made so many experiments with him, different coaches, different players... And I thought, like, John Wall could maybe be the next Chris Paul next to him, as I talked about it last podcast, but I don't know. Yeah, just... I mean, the season's gonna start soon, but I don't know if they're even gonna trade him. Yeah. So, the Hawks have Rondo now. I saw that. I mean, this is not like a huge news, but I think the Hawks made some great moves. And maybe there may be potential to make the playoffs this year. I mean, they have Rondo now, they have John Collins now, they have Trae Young. And I mean, Rondo is not a Chris Paul type of player, but he's a fairly good, but if he's not the best player on the team and he's like the assist guy who makes all the plays, that's completely fine. But just the thing that could go horribly wrong is Rondo can be a very dramatic player, especially with young players, as we've seen in for example, like when he was in Chicago. I mean, he had beef with Jimmy Butler and D Wade, and I mean, D Wade is older than him, but oh no, wait, it's D Wade. Yeah, D Wade is older than him, right? Yeah, he should be, but Jimmy Butler can also be like a really dramatic player if you don't put him in the right system. That what happened in Minnesota when he was in Minnesota. But I mean, yeah, I mean they could make great moves. They also got Delannoy from the OKC Thunder, right? Delannoy, right? Yeah, I think yeah. So, probably the biggest news of this week. Paul George has signed a max contract for $200 million. And Kawhi Leonard has not. So first of all, huh? Like, oof. Like, for 5 years, $200 million. Not, I think, like $260 million or something like that. But it's like around $200 million. Oof, bro. Paul George? A max contract for Paul George? That guy that bricked a fucking ball of a backboard, Paul George, in the second round of the 2020 playoffs where they actually lost in Game 7. That was Game 7. A max contract for $200 million? Huh? Bro, this is such a bad move. I'm not gonna lie. He hasn't... This dude hasn't shown anything. This dude has... He hasn't performed well at all. And especially, he was not good in the playoffs. And it makes absolutely no sense to pay him that much. You should pay Kawhi that much. And the most alarming thing about it is, Kawhi didn't sign anything. Oof. Bro, like, oh god. And, I mean, I guess Paul George wants to retire as a Clipper because he's from LA. Or, like, around, like, the area from LA. Like, California. But, bruh, I know California is big. I know that. But he's, like, around LA. Yes, so. Paul George? Paul George? Why not Kawhi? Bro, like, Paul... Oh, damn. And he has shown he's not a great leader. He's talking shit about his players, and he says that it wasn't his fault. How can you sign him to a max contract? He has done everything wrong that a leader... He has done everything wrong that a leader should do. Everything. Bro, I'm cool. What the oh god, it makes no sense. Bro, like, how can you pay him $200 million if he can't even hit a shot in Game 7? He was so bad. And he started to complain, and then... Oh my god, bro. He is not the same player that he was in Indiana. He injured himself in the 2016, what was it, 2016 Olympics? Oh, bro, this was the most... the weirdest move in this year. And I mean, Kawhi didn't sign anything, but that's a really bad sign. Maybe you go back to Toronto or something. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe to the channel. Oh, wait. Sorry. I have to close the door. That's my bad. So, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And leave a like if you like this podcast. Of course. And until next time, peace!